Hey, you think this is Flurry and Flurry? No way, it's my grandson Dell. Well, here we are in my basement. You know, Dell, I get letters from parents and ask me about kids, what they should do, what they shouldn't do. You know what I'm going to do right now? Dell, you listening to me? Yeah, okay, he's listening. You listen to me out there too. I'm going to answer all the questions that you asked me, all right? Right now. Okay, Dell? Yeah, Dell's ready. Give it a thumbs up, Dell. All right. All right, the first question I'm asked is, when should the kids start skating? You know, a lot of guys put them on at 2, some 2.5. I've heard them even a year. I don't like that, and I'm going to tell you why I don't like it. Dell is going to start skating at 3. I'm always afraid the kid will fall down, hurt himself, hit his head, and believe me, it's tough getting them back on the ice. Somehow, at 3 years old, they seem big enough, they can handle it, they understand what's going on. But I'll tell you what I do to help Dell. And if you take a look at this skate, this is the skate that he has. See how I put the tape on the bottom, nice and thick on the bottom here. And what happens is he walks around the carpet, he walks around, strengthening his ankles, getting the balance, ready for the ice. Now, I'll go one step farther with Dell. You do this if you want. I take his laces out. He runs around. He actually runs around with no laces in his skates, strengthening his ankles. Get him on the ice at 3. If you want to go earlier, that's up to you. 3 years old. That's the one I like, boy. They're ready to go and they're hungry. Hey, they watch Coach's Corner and they're ready to go. 3 years old. Okay, the two things I'm asked, and people come in letters and they're asking me all the time, they say, what's the 2 most important things in a practice that we work on? I mean, you can work on a million things. Well, naturally, the first one is skating. You can't skate in hockey or finish, so you work on the skating. But the one that we don't work on the most, and I have to say the Europeans got us on that. When I was over with Team Canada in the World Tournament, I saw young kids practicing. They always handle the puck on every drill. We have it, we roar the kids up. We have them doing circles, jumping on one leg, over hoops, and things like that. The Europeans, what they do, every drill the kids have, they handle the puck. If I was running a practice for kids now, and I had a hockey school right now like I had in Boston, every drill, they handle a puck. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, they shoot the puck at the boards when they have it, or they lose it. That's okay. You got to discipline them that they don't shoot that at the boards. Handle the puck, naturally skate. Handle a puck. You can't play the game unless you can handle a puck. You see Gretzky, Bobby Orr, Mario, they can handle a puck. You can't just be banging the puck around all the time. Skate naturally, handle the puck every drill, and you'll be a hockey player. All right, the next question that's usually asked, should a kid play hockey all year round? You know, a lot of parents, they love it. They take them to tournaments in the summer, July, August, and hey, they want to do that. The kid seems to like it. But me, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in a kid should play hockey 12 months of the year. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't skate a little bit in the summer. I'm not saying he might even go to a tournament. But you can't play all the time. You got to have that hunger. When the fall comes, you smell the air and everything. Hey, hockey's starting. Bobby Orr says the kids are burnt out. He's gone now. He sees kids starting in the fall. They're burnt out. I agree with Gretzky. I agree with Orr. And we're experts. Don't play the kid 12 months a year. Have him when the fall comes. He said, boy, Dad, I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait till the season starts. That's the way you got to have him. Don't burn him out. Don't wear him out. Have him hungry all the time. Now the question is, should my son, from the time he's 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, play one position? You know, he's a goaltender. Have him in the goaltender all the time. I don't believe that. I believe the kid, if he likes, you know, goaltender's sort of like a glamour spot and everything. Put him in there and let's see how he wants. You're going to say, yeah, what about the equipment? Some parents, they pay all the money for the equipment. They say, you're playing there, kid. He should try different spots. I know everybody likes to play center. That's, you know, that's the spot Mario and Gretzky and everybody. But they should try it all. I've heard of kids saying, oh, I'm playing defense. I'm back here. This is no fun. I want to go up forward. So they go up forward, and all of a sudden they don't get as much ice time. They don't like it. Try different spots. Don't let them just stay in one spot. You never know. You might have another Bobby Orr or you might have a Gretzky. Different spots up until, I would say, 11 or 12. When he gets 11, 12, and 13, you better have him in one spot so he's learning the game. Don't keep him in one position. Let him play all the spots. Now, I know I said you shouldn't play hockey all year round, but you can practice. You know, I talked to Bobby Orr, Gretzky, Sakic, Esposito, the guys with the good shots, the guys that put it in. I said, you know, what do you do in the summer? Well, I don't like to tell you. What did you do when you were a kid? Well, most of them and all of the guys I talked to, especially Sakic, used to have linoleum. Is that how they say it down there? And he used to be down his basement, and he used to shoot pucks by the hour. That's how he got the wrist shot. All summer, bing, bing, bing. You know, you can get the net, put it there, bing, off the linoleum, pucks, bing, bing, bing. You work your shot, top corner, back and forth like that. You work on that. Now, the goaltenders. I see the goaltenders in the summer. They have some guy in the, you know, the laneway, and they're wiring pucks at him. I wouldn't have that. This is what I'd do if I were you. I'd put my mask on. I'd put my block. I'd put my catcher and blocker and everything like that, and my stick. I'd have your buddy get a tennis ball. Get all the fuzz off. You know, you get the good old road hockey tennis ball. Get all the fuzz off and practice that. And practice your move, catching like that. That's good. I don't mind you doing that all summer. Esposito or Sakic especially, that's how they made it. If you're not dedicated, if you want to go out and fool around, why, you got spare time. Go down the basement, take some shots, then you'll make it to the National Hockey League. You know, when I had my hockey schools in Boston, I'd be there, and I'd have a parent come up beside me, and he'd say, Don, I think my son should go in a higher division. He's not being challenged. That's the word they use, challenged. And I'd say to the guy, look, let the kid have some fun. Don't move him up with the bigger guys. You won't be able to do his little tricks. Stay with his own age for a while. Let him have some fun. Don't put him up too high, because what happens is he plays it safe. He doesn't want to try that little trick going around a guy, because he's going to get nailed by the bigger guys. I remember one time, and it broke my heart to see it, I never forgot the kid's name. His name was Brown. He was a little goaltender. He was in his own division, and he was dynamite. And the mother kept coming to me all the time. I don't feel he's getting the shots he should get. And I said, look, man, leave him where he's having fun. Look at him out there. He's having so much fun. Yeah, but he's not being challenged with better shots. So this went on day after day after day. She got on my nerves. I said, you want him in the higher division? Said, yeah, he goes in the higher division. I'll never forget the first morning. The bigger guys were going in on him. They were wiring him in the top corner. I wouldn't let him get hurt. They were wiring him in the top corner, like I said, along the ice. Broke the kid. The poor kid started. I could still see him along the ice crying. I looked at the mother and I said, you see what you've done? I moved him down. I put him down, but the kid was never the same the whole school. I'm not saying if you see a big kid and you want to move him up and he's okay like a defenseman, but if he's a little kid, don't put him up in the bigger guys and let him get nailed. Let's be a big fish in a little pond than rather throwing him up and getting his brains pounded out, okay? Let him have fun, keep him in his division, and he'll improve a lot more. I hear parents complaining all the time, oh, my son's playing on a losing team, they haven't won a game in 10 games and that. Instead of saying, I want to say, well, how's the kid doing? Never mind how the team's doing at that age. You know, it's ridiculous to hear people talking like that, and they say, well, my son got 5 shutouts in a row. And I said, well, how many shots did he get? Well, he's only got 10 shots a game. Then I hear another parent saying, oh, my son had 10 goals scored on him. And I said, well, how many shots on him? He said, well, he had 60 shots on him. That's the kid that's improving. You don't worry. Hey, I like to win. Don't get me wrong. I love to win. But the thing is, the kid's got to improve. Never mind that you've lost 10 in a row. Is the kid improving? Never mind that his average is 10. Is he improving? That's the name of the game. Never mind the team winning. Is the kid improving? Now, I'm not saying you want to lose. Don't get me wrong. I know what you're saying. Long as the kid's getting the ice time, don't worry if your team is winning or losing, long as the kid improves. I'm often asked, should I put my kid in a travel team or the house league? Now, look, if he's good enough to play on the travel team, I believe in the elite. A lot of people, oh, we don't believe in elite. I believe if the kid's good enough to play and he's taking a regular shift, I love travel teams. But if he's not taking a regular shift, he should be in the house league. And I'll tell you a story. When I lived in Rochester, New York, my son was with the travel team. And I remember I traveled all the way from Rochester to Buffalo to see him play. He sat on the end of the bench, and he opened and closed the door the whole time. So I didn't say anything to him then. We drove back, you know, and they get the jackets, the travel team and everything. I remember sitting him down and saying, look, Tim, you can't play on that team. You're not improving. And I remember him crying, you're going to take me off. I remember him saying, you're going to take me off the travel team. I said, I'm taking you off the travel team, and I'm putting you in the house league. Well, his heart was broken, but he went. And I'll tell you a strange thing. He got his regular ice time. He proved, and the travel team come back to him for the end of the year and asked if he could go in the playoffs with him. I said, no, I'm sorry, you can't. You didn't want him at the start, but he was a little ticked off at that one too. But he improved. If your son is with a travel team and he's playing, fine. But if your son is with a travel team and he's not getting the ice time, you're better off having him in the house league when he can play. You know, there's one more thing I'd like to say before I leave. And the one thing I should put it under the headline, how to handle your kid when he's having a tough time or when he's having a good time. I remember I was standing outside the arena one day and a kid got a hat trick and he says, what do you think of that, Dad? He says, you should have had 4. And I thought, broke the little kid's heart. You could see him go down like that. You know, you can get a lot more with honey than you can vinegar. And it's sad to see parents constantly harping at the kids all the time. You should have done this. What a mistake. You should let that goal in. It's brutal to hear it. And then, you know, I see the kids, and that's how they get out of hockey. That's how they get out of any sport. Now, I'll tell you a story of how my dad handled it with me. I was going to make the Boston Bruins. I was 15 years old. I was playing Junior B. I was going to go to Barrie Flyers and everything. And Harold Cotton, the #1 scout for Boston Bruins, was coming to Kingston to see me. Well, you guessed it. I played the worst game of my life. I mean, I was heartbroken. So I figured that's it for my hockey career. And that's all I lived for was hockey. And I went home, and I remember walking home in the winter. I had tears rolling down my eyes. There goes my career. And I'm very, very discouraged. And I remember my dad was laying in bed reading. I can still see the glasses down to here. And I went in, and I wasn't crying then. He'd laugh at me. But I walked in. I said, well, I guess I blew it, Dad. I didn't play. I played awful. I was the worst guy on the ice. And he says, well, I've seen you play better games. But what about the time you blocked that shot? Yeah, well, what about the time you took that guy out in the corner? And what about the time you stood up? What a time you went out and nailed that guy at center ice? And, you know, I think he picked out the 4 things I did the whole game. But by the time I left that room, I was ready to go. I thought I played the best game. And you're going to say, I know what you're saying now. Well, what do? You tell the kid every game he played a good game? But if you see he's trying to play his game, that's the key there. That's the word, trying. You're not going to play your best all the time. But if the kid's trying out there, don't be constantly harping at him. Always praise him if he's trying. Now, there are some kids that need a, you know what I mean, once in a while to get him going. That's okay. But if you see your son's doing his best and trying his best, that's enough. Don't be criticizing. Like I've said before, keep it fun. The Boston Bruins, I'm going to tell you, the Boston Bruins, I call an optional practice, and they'd all come. You know why? Because they were fun. That's the name of the game, folks. Hey, Del, did you like that? Yeah, he liked it, and I hope you liked it too. Hey, thanks for watching Rock'em Sock'em. I hope the advice helped you. Del and I are so happy to bring these to you. He does look like Therian Fleury, doesn't he? Okay, Del, let's give him the thumbs up, just like that. All right, folks, see you next year, God willing. Attaboy, Del. The main thing for the kids is when you have a practice, when you have everything, they have fun. Because that's the name of the game, right, Del? Fun. Let's give it thumbs up. No, you got to go like this, Del. Go like that, okay? Next time I kept it like that. That wasn't too good. Del's good, boy. What a TV guy.
All right.
Yeah. You know, the second thing I'm asked all the time is when I have a practice and we're out there, what's the 2 things that, no, don't move, eh? When you don't move.
Kind of put your hands are really
On the front? Okay.
So
Yeah, I know. It's,
don't kind of,
okay. No, I'm often asked to, no, I say that all the time. Now, the question is, now I know you ready?
Yeah.
Now, I know I said you can't practice. Now, I said, no, stop. No, geez, I'm having a tough time saying no. Now, I know I said you shouldn't play hockey all year round. You know, I hear parents say all the time, you know, no, how did I start off? Oh, yeah. You know, I hear parents all the time saying, you know, see what happens when I do it a second time? Stanley Cup champion. Yeah. Terry Cripps, Stanley Cup champion with the Philadelphia Flyers. Glenn Sather, how many